feeding force. Okay, so since they are actually apart from each other, so the inward force is more compared to the outward force. So that's why the plane actually curve. Okay, and once we actually increase further the distance between the seats, so you will see. Okay, so these slides are little, so you see that the gap is much bigger. So only the inward force is effective, which get actually much sharper tips. Okay, so by the seal to grow the silver layer outside of this. Now here the thing is like the silver generally we cannot actually reduce it by ascorbic acid. So what we use actually to increase actually or reduce the activation energy, we use the heating method. Okay, so it's a nice smooth surface actually comes of silver. Again we use this as the seed to grow outer layer of gold. Okay, so by that way actually we can make several structures of this. As you can see those structures like for these are NP2 and NP4 which has actually gold outside. As you know from the redox potential, once you put the gold out of the silver layer, so they actually start leaching. So the diameter from the elemental mapping, it shows actually they are actually mixed metal materials. But in case of silver outer layer, so they have a clearly defined outer silver layer and inner gold layer. So these are the elemental mapping of the silver outer layer, and this is for the inner gold. So the gold is much smaller, but silver is the much bigger. So they also show actually highly catalytic activity, and not only that, by using same thin seeding like gold and then gold layering, layer after layer, we can make also these type of materials, and silver also we can make them. So the specific activity of this NP activity, and that's because of its oxophilicity effect of silver compared to gold. And the third thing, so I would like actually to tell like this. I worked on also the surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy. So the surface enhanced Raman spectroscopy, we saw the like once any sort of dye it's attached onto the surface of the nanoparticle, generally it gets chemical enhancement or its electromagnetic enhancement. So these two enhancement actually stems from the enhanced local field due to the electromagnetic field and also the enhanced field offered by the plasmonic material. So these two plasmonics, so that's actually offered the surface factor of G. So if we take actually the intensity, which is actually G to the power 4, so that counts for like 10 to the power 6 enhancement. But most of the times you will see ACRS enhancement, we could get actually 10 to the power 10 to 10 to the power 11 enhancement. So that one with this normal model actually we cannot explain. So how we go to these things to explain? So explain is like you think about a dye molecule sitting between two nanoparticles, and then we are exciting by an electromagnetic radiation, and this electric field is towards this arrow. So then what will do? So it will this going front of the electromagnetic field will induce a negative charge here. That's because of the electric field, which will generate a opposite charge here. So that again induces a negative charge here and then positive charge here. So now so these will feel like a sitting in between a capacitor. Okay, and that capacitor field, so capacitive field it depends on 1 by d to the power 8. Okay, and due to this small distance which is less than 1 nanometer, this capacitive field is huge. But if we allow this electric field perpendicular, then actually this capacitive field doesn't occur. But inspired by this, actually we made several materials now. So where the nanoparticles are absorbed this thiolated compounds, which has one end is negatively charged or positively charged, whatever. But these are so nicely covered, they don't make even aggregation. So these materials are easy for the preservation, for delivery and other things. But you think about like when we apply the electromagnetic field like this direction or even this direction, so it gives a capacitor here. So like positive and negative. Similarly, for the negatively charged ligands, this side it will give a positive and negative. So this capacitor actually enhances the field so high that we can actually reach up to an electromagnetic enhancement of like 10 to the 11 to 10 to the 12. So in spite of that, like we make all these materials where these tips are so close to each other, it's like about like 1 to 2 nanometers. And if a guy is sitting on this between these two tips, so they get enhancement due to this the capacity field. Okay, and also like we have examined like those thiolated aromatic compounds like thiobenzene, okay, like 4 martepto, the benzoic acid, okay, or 4 amino benzoic acid. So those molecules specially actually gives the very big enhancement, and due to that capacity force. Okay, we also make materials like several number of gold atoms encased into a single cell, and outside is actually negatively charged. And then if we put a positively charged dye like rhodamine 6D in between these two, so they get actually the capacity field effect and gives a huge Raman enhancement. So yeah, so that's what like I think I have finished it by 20 minutes. So those are the few things actually in the synthesis, but beyond that, actually we work lot more on fuel cells, high energy, high resolution microscopy, and development and of nanomaterials for the fabrications and other things. But I have not touched with this. And this is our SINT, as mentioned by Dr. Saranov at the beginning. Like we are actually 3 there in the chemical sciences. So my field actually spans from like spectroscopy, dynamics, and nanomaterials applications both in energy as well as in the medicine. And my colleague Padmaja Prasad Mishra, so who works on single molecule spectroscopy, and Professor Muntu Hazara, who works in the environment and molecular dynamics. So and so most of these works are done by these students. I have a very small group of 4 students, so that's what our limitations. I cannot take more than 4. And also I'm thankful to DAE, DRDO, and SINT for all sort of funding, and also huge collaborations with Russia and as well as USA. And thank you very much for your contribution.
Thank you, Professor Senapati, for finishing on time. Now the floor is open for discussion.
Hello, nice talk. I have a question. I'm Satpati from here. See, in your nanoparticle where you charge positive one side and
Yes.
negative one side. So I don't know what application they are looking at, but it's conducting nanoparticle current.
You are talking about this?
Yeah. So what I order is they will self-discharge.
They will?
They will self-discharge. They are conducting nanoparticle.
Yeah, that in that application you can do, of course, but in our case actually we look for like a photochemical activities. Okay, so we look for the application in the spectroscopy mainly in surface and thermal spectroscopy, so that we can apply them for the sensing.
Okay. And I have one more point. You
Yes.
have chronoamps for sensing, correct? Chronoamps.
Chronometry, yes.
So your current drops down very sharply moment you add.
Yes,
it.
that's
Is
it.
capacity loss or is something else going on there?
No, you see, like DPV, differential pulse voltammetry, chronoamperometry, and impedance spectrometry. So these 3 techniques generally we use. Okay, now DPV is actually much more sensitive, but that one actually for the equilibrium systems. But when actually near the electrode, the system is not equilibrium, keep on there is a fall in the concentration, it's better actually to go for the chronoamperometry.
That's fine,
But
the current drops down very fast after you add.
Yes, after that, but again it will tick up.
But you definitely start the solution of it.
No, we don't start.
Then it will drop down. That's it.
Yeah, but drop down, but immediately actually it comes back.
My question is related with Dr. Sapati's questions only. So this is that you are using this electric field is the electric field of the light you are talking, right?
Yes, this is electromagnetic field.
Electromagnetic.
Yes.
That means the oscillating electric field.
Exactly. So that field
leads
is
to this induced dipole.
exactly. It's an induced dipole.
But one thing I cannot understand is when you are putting a horizontal field, for example,
Okay.
Then as there is the oscillation of charge in the horizontal, and your probe molecule or whatever other chromophore is there inside, it is coming under a capacitor kind of thing. And when you are saying it is vertically polarized, so then naturally below that, the top figure actually, below that some particles are there, quantum dots are there. So there also such kind of capacitance will be.
Yeah, you see, that's what I told. Like, suppose this is a 20 nanometer particle. So the induced charge difference between this and this is a gap of 20 nanometers. So their capacitive field is 0. Okay, but this gap, it's about like 1 nanometers. So that's why the capacitive field is huge, because it inversely depends on d to the power 8. Okay, so it depends on how close these particles. You see, the hotspot only you can make when the particles are about to touch, but it's not touching.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
why.
but how is it dependent on is it the kind of polarization of the light you are talking about?
Yes,
That
you
by
see, this is the electric field. Okay, electric field will induce a negative charge here and positive charge there. But as it's oscillating, it might be changed to again positive
Yeah,
to
but
negative.
what my concern is, regardless of its vertical and horizontal polarization, in both cases we will get the enhancement.
No.
If I have understood
No,
correctly.
no, no, no. That's because here you see I'm talking about the layer, two layers, positive layer and negative layer, and the gap is about like 1 nanometer. But here actually the gap is about like 20 nanometers. So that's why it cannot actually induce that capacity.
We will discuss more on that.
Yes, sure. Yes.
Hello, I am Madhav from BRC. It's not a hard science question, it's more related to the different size nanoparticles that you have made.
Sure.
So, you are looking at energy sensing and therapeutics, right?
Exactly.
Now, do you have any evidence that these properties are related to the size and shape of these nanoparticles?
Oh yes. So that's what actually we are looking for. Okay. So all depends on, you see, like therapeutics. First of all, therapeutics, to do a good therapeutics, you need a much smaller particle and much sharper shapes. Like a tip which has a end diameter is like 1 nanometer or something. I have shown few because I have gone so fast actually. So you see, if the tip size is about 1 nanometer, so that due to this electron phonon coupling, the amount of energy it deposits on the tip of this shape, which can generate about like 5,000 Kelvin. So that actually is a huge actually for the therapeutics applications. So that's why actually constantly we are making those sharper shape molecules.
Okay, so Dulanda, I have one question. This is basically, you have made some excellent anisotropic noble metal particles, and you showed that these hotspots can be used as SARs. So first question is that basically these among those anisotropic particles, which one you found the best?
So
Or is there any dependence?
let me again quickly go back. Okay. This is the problem. Okay. So, this is like for anything, for binding on the surface. Okay. If your surfactant concentration on the surface is much less, so then Raman activity actually goes very high. Okay. So I don't know, like few shapes we make actually is without surfactant. Okay, very small molecules like ascorbic acid we make. So those molecules actually gives a huge Raman. Okay, so generally like we try to make structures doesn't use much surfactants. Like CTAB is a bad surfactant, good surfactant for stabilization, but bad surfactant for ACRS because it makes like a plastic coating outside. So
Thank you, I got your point. So, yeah, so maybe you can stop because, okay, then you can discuss.
okay,
Please. Sorry.
Very nice talk. And Sriramurthy from Magical Kalpakam. So you used Professor Mandal's question. Actually, the particles are like homogeneously distributed all around.
Yes.
So in that case, it is the interparticle polarization that is you are talking about. That is the capacitance behavior, but not the within the particle because it's a continuous.
no,
So
you see,
in that
for,
case,
for,
how
for
the
my
distributions?
for my case actually the frame of reference is actually 2 nanoparticles and the molecule in between these. So that's my frame of reference. Okay, but yes, that dye might be isotropically distributed. Okay, but
This
but
horizontal vertical quadrant.
yes, that's because like when we use dye actually in very low concentration, like 10 to the power minus 9 molar, so then it's no more isotropic. Okay, because your nanoparticle concentration is much higher compared to your dye molecule, so it might be isotropic, but it's localized still.
Okay, so let's stop here, and then you can be Professor Senapati is here, so you can discuss whatever question you have. So let's thank Professor Senapati for a great lecture.
Thank you.
Next, on behalf of organizing committee, I'll be happy to present a moment.
चलो
Okay, now we move on to the final lecture, which will be given by for this session, which will be given by Professor CBS Romananda Rao from IIT Calcutta. So Professor Rao did his graduation in chemistry from Delhi University and post-graduation in chemistry from University of Hyderabad. After that, he joined BART Training School in 1994. After training, he joined radiochemistry laboratory in IIT in 1995. He did his PhD from Madras University in the field of organic ligand synthesis and its application for recovery of actinides. Currently, he is heading the solution chemistry and mass spectrometric studies section in fuel chemistry division at IIT. He is also the Dean of Chemical Sciences at IIT in Mumbai. He has